Donkey Jaw Projects.
What is up, y'all? This is Marshall Lee of Donkey Jaw Projects, and today's day, let me turn that down. Today's day 38, I think, of 100 Days Making Comics. How you guys doing? I did a lot of live streams this week, and it was kind of in an effort to just kind of have an easier way to do things, but I don't know, it's kind of tough to live stream and chat with people and do lettering, I'm finding out, which is kind of interesting. So I just switching it up here. Anyways, let me not be long-winded. So I was thinking about, I did my work today, by the way, and I did extra, I guess. I gotta kind of think in my mind how much extra time I spent, but and I'll get to that a little bit, but I did some lettering, definitely got further. This one page that I'm working on is like, I think it's got maybe the most dialogue in the whole, little 7-page story. And it's almost like, a lot of times comic pages are divided up into about 3 columns, sort of, depending on how you panel. I panel crazy sometimes, so. But this one is almost 4 columns. So, and there's just a lot of dialogue going on. It's not crazy. I mean, for me, it's a lot of dialogue, but from, comics I've seen, they put so much dialogue, it's crazy. Yeah, so it's been challenging figuring out where to put the word balloons and stuff, and I've seen that some people like kind of map that out ahead of time, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if I want to do that. We'll see, maybe one day, but for now, this is how I do it. I kind of do it after the fact and try to leave space as I'm drawing for word balloons. I wanted to revisit a question that I'm so tired. That Joshua Kimball asked me. And speaking about Joshua Kimball, they just did an Artcasters last night with our mutual buddy Adam Lohr, and it was pretty cool. Really, really good episode. Really enjoyed it. They were just talking about all kinds of different influences, and they went way back to the beginnings of comics, and really cool stuff. Stuff I want to get more and more into as I go. That being said, at the end of the episode, Adam Lohr was like, "Oh, I just wanted to shout out Marshall Lee for his birthday, happy birthday," and all that stuff, and that was really cool. I definitely felt the love. That was just fun to hear at the end of the episode. So thanks, guys, if you're watching. So that being said, Joshua Kimball asked a question about if I have any epic stories, and I answered this already, but it was weird because the fact that I kind of answered no, I mean, I answered both yes and no, but the fact that I kind of answered no was really weird to me, because it seems like throughout my whole life, whenever I've had any ideas for anything, with my music, art, comic books, whatever, they're always, even I remember in high school doing essays and stuff, they're always epic, so much that it gets so big that I get so overwhelmed and don't do anything sometimes. There's that analysis paralysis. For me, it's epic, this escalating evolution of story or projects paralysis that kind of gets me. So I don't know, that's weird. The thing is I think I did mention in that response glyph, which is something that I've kind of played around with as I come and like I've written and rewritten, and you know, obviously I did 3 mini comics with Glyph, and you know, those are almost like sketches, because really, you know, I won't really necessarily consider any of that within continuity of what I eventually make, I think. I even thought about like having different iterations of Glyph, like he could have like many different stories or whatever, because there's just, people have gotten excited about the character before and wanted to do different things. And I even had a friend, my buddy Philip Victor, he did his own like little prose like beginning to a story, which I thought was really cool. So I mean, I don't know, there's that, but I have finally come to a conclusion of somewhat of the direction I want to go, and it's like, it's overwhelming. But today I was watching, there's a lot of shout outs I guess in this one. I was watching Jan's latest 100 Days update, day 10, and he was talking about, you know, different things within his story, and then he talked about this thing where you know, his characters are gonna like play kind of a game as they work, which I think is a really cool idea, a great way to bring out character and just have fun, you know, with your characters and build, you know, your story. And he was talking about how eventually it'll come out in other ways, and I don't know, it's a really great idea. So it just made me think of Glyph, because I decided a while back that Glyph is not going to be like a superhero type of character. It's gonna be almost like a sports story, but not really. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't like sports, you know, because it's not really sports. It's art sports kind of, but that's not necessarily the only part like of the story. It's going to be this adventure thing. And I don't know, a big inspiration for it was also wonton soup, which Chris McQuinlan has been talking about in his videos as an inspiration for him. I think maybe it's just called wonton, I don't know. But that book by James Stokoe is really cool, because it's basically, and maybe I should call it competition and not sports, but it's basically like a culinary competition, but it's like way fantastical. Like, you might think that's boring, but it's not. Like, it's like these crazy things happen with food, and you know, it's like battles and gladiator type stuff. I don't know, it's just crazy. Anyways, so that was part of the inspiration for, you know, the direction I'm heading with Glyph. And Glyph, the story is probably going to be about overcoming fears. That's what Glyph's, you know, main thing is going to be. And it's going to be kind of a fantasy / competition / sci-fi type of thing. And kind of like Harry Potter, like how they have the Quidditch match, or like Hunger Games, like all these things are influences and things that are interesting. But anyways, the fact that Jan started talking about this game stuff got me thinking about the game in mind, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know, if I'm gonna have this like game thing, I have to like create a whole game, and it's like this whole world building thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I think I've been really liking the fact that the stories that I've been working on lately are not this big, like, oh, I got to build this whole world and like languages and societies and politics and all these different aspects of a world. You know, I've been trying to make it more simple, and that's what kind of messes me up with Glyph is, you know, it's like takes place on the moon, like after the Earth is destroyed, and there's all this kind of stuff. It's like this crazy stuff, like. It just keeps, like, I keep coming up with all these weird things to try to make sense of why Glyph can do what he does, or like, I don't know, just different things, and it gets really crazy. But anyways, so today I got excited about the game aspect and was overwhelmed a little bit, but then at the same time I'm like, well, let me give a crack at it. And Chris McQuillan was talking about mind map app that he found, that he used to help him and his friend work on Monkey Junk. And I was like, okay, let me go check that out, see if it's in the App Store. That specific one wasn't in the App Store, but of course they have many other apps. So I found one, and it seems really cool. It seems like I've already figured it out pretty well, and there's a lot more to it, but I figured enough out to do what I need to do. And so I've been kind of mapping out this game a little bit and how the rules work and how how you get points and this and that. And it's got me excited. It's making me think of all these different plots and stuff that I can do and how I can have the game play out in fun, interesting ways. And it's too cool. I cannot wait now I want to work on this. Now that being said, I'm still working on 12 stories, and this is just something I'm going to pick at as I go, and just keep building, because I do want to write. I'd love to get to the point where I write a script for maybe the first chapter or the first, even the first 22-page comic or whatever this year. That would be awesome if I write that, and then I can work with collaborators and things like that, and because I have people who would like to work on it and stuff or help me. And so I don't know, just what I'm thinking about. This is kind of a big brain dump. A lot of times when I make these videos, it's after my day of work, and I've had a chance to watch or listen to a bunch of videos, 100 days videos. So it's it ends up being somewhat inspired by stuff I've watched in that day, or and it's interesting how all these different things come together for me to create this. I don't know, it's interesting. Anyways, a lot of blah blahs in there. Hope you guys got something from this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out. And anybody too, all the Facebook birthday wishes and all the people who've wished me happy birthday yesterday. I'm 39. So ain't getting any younger. Got to get these comics out. But thanks, I really appreciate that, all the love, and I feel it. Y'all rock. And yeah, thanks for being awesome, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Peace out.